Hi, hi. Hello. Ah, hi. Oi, I Celeste. This is my friend, Celeste. You got that, I'm sorry. How's everyone? Hopefully we're gonna have some fun tonight. We get to play some Stardew, which means I don't have to pay attention to anything. And we can talk some anime, cause I'd like to get to know some of y'all's suggestions, and y'all get to hear some of my old Taku takes. We're here. We cheer. Get used to it. uh, my needed Disgaea reference for the day. My flan references. Hi, hi. I did remind you since you asked. So I do see you. Let me actually get the game up. See if I can get the game to uh yep, pull up properly. There we go. We're gonna start a whole new thing. I can't say that I'm going to play how everyone like particularly cares for, but we're just gonna play Stardew because I'm bad at combat, so I just farm a lot and ignore everything. Maybe we can co-op eventually when I feel actually comfortable like collabing with people. Oh, that's kind of loud. Well, it's loud to me. Uh, hair. I like that one. That one's cute. Onto the little skull. So we'll set all of this up. I want the tiny skirt. It's adorable. Let's see. So we are Celeste. Our farm's name is Meeples. And my favorite thing, guess my favorite thing? My favorite thing is chat. All of my cute little followers. I was talking to people. I've decided that all of you that are following me are now my little Azure beans. We're gonna do the basic because we have some mods installed to help, and I'm gonna skip the intro because I think we've all seen the Stardew intro plenty. Don't you boo at me. Rude. I have money! Yay! I am playing with the controller because I'm a loser. I don't like using mouse and keyboard. Okay, I'm trying to remember so we have the extended farm mod stuff. So we have like a giant farm here. I need to be able to get to my water, and I can't remember where it is. There it is. We found it. Hoi! I'm glad you can make it. We're playing Stardew, and I'm talking to chat about anime, so I can get some recommendations. I actually thought about it, and if I can get recommendations, and you're like talking about it, I was gonna like find another day to stream, and we can do an anime stream, like just talking about new anime or like existing ones that maybe some people haven't heard of. I tried to tell everyone I'm on a Discord that it's a bunch of VTubers, and we can collab and stuff with it. And I tried to invite people, but they had plans already, so I don't blame them. I'm hoping this stream goes well tonight. And if it does, then I'm planning to do something super special. But I can't tell y'all about it yet, which makes me sad. But I can tease it, so it's fine. Trying to keep stuff open, and I'm bad at paying attention to multiple things at once. I blame my ADHD for that, but I think it's just a my brain thing. But yeah, so we can talk some anime. I'm probably gonna start with lighter stuff because I know I have some stuff that has traumatized my partner, and I have forced them to watch. And they're like, "Why are you watching this again? You are crazy." But that goes into my later recommendations of manga as well. That I have read twice, even though I've been told I really shouldn't. Hello, viewers! I see a few more of you have come in to say hi. Y'all are welcome to engage with chat while we talk about anime and stuff and things. I need to go and cut more wood because I need storage. So I watch a YouTube content creator. They used to be on That Guy with the Glasses, for anyone that actually remembers that site. Named Sage, and he coined for his viewers the term old taku. And I have been using that pretty much ever since he started using it. So I would definitely say I am an old taku. So my like first forays into anime were pretty much like Toonami, with like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and stuff. And this is back when they showed like Tenchi Muyo as well. So that's how I was introduced to Tenchi. I didn't realize that it was a raunchy series whenever I first found out about it. Tenchi Muyo's fun. Tenchi Universe is by far like my favorite. Is Toonami officially like gone now, or did they, or are they still doing that now? Because I know they brought it back, but last I heard it was also they were going to take it down again. Box. box. Like it was the last time I checked, but like, yeah, I don't remember if they were going to like take it down again or not. Oh, I need to put the turnip in there because I'm gonna need that later. But yeah, so like Tenji Muyo was great. It did introduce me to like the whole harem genre. If I'm being honest, that was my first foray into that. And I know OG Toonami was better, but the issue is we got a lot of like very cut down content because of it. So we had like Tenji was cut down, Dragon Ball Z. There was less peen. I can officially say that. Definitely less peen. Sailor Moon had some weird edits, obviously, but I don't know if that was really because of Toonami or just specifically Deke. We go buy some stuff. I want to try and get a little bit of everything. Cucumber, cauliflower, potato, kale. Yep, that looks good for now. We're gonna get one of like everything. Yeah, so you have to remember that it was the Deke dub, and the thing with Sailor Moon is if you watch all of the original Deke dub, Serena Usagi, whatever you want to call her, she started to sound more and more like a turkey, and I know that sounds rude, but I honestly think that's just the voice direction that they were given. But like legit, I felt like she sounded like a turkey. I'm not usually that mean about voice acting. I know that the voice direction was not like great back then, but like Digimon did great. Specifically in Super S, the last season we got with the Deke dub, I have to say that she definitely sounded turkey. For that. Oh yeah, I forgot. Because of this, we have a whole bunch of weird stuff to explore. Too. Also, I wanted to introduce myself a little better. Like as far as like this isn't the model for Celeste for now. I do plan to update it eventually. This was made in Vroid. So it is pre-made assets. I do not really own any of the assets or anything. I'm not gonna pretend I do. Digimon was great. I just feel like there were too many Pokemon fans, and everyone's like, "It's still from Pokemon." No, it didn't. Digimon treated us like we were actually people instead of jelly donuts. So like Pokemon and Digimon were like my first big things, obviously. But like I have no idea where we are. We're somewhere on the map. So that was kind of my first thing, and then my grandmother who raised me tried to find me things that like were like that I could watch. So that sometimes turned out okay. Sometimes it didn't. I won't say it was really bad. It was more that I don't think this is doing anything. Just making weird noises. Ooh, pretty. Boop. Boop. So, you know, we continued to look for like things that I could watch because, you know, there was only so much of those shows that were out. And eventually that's kind of how I came upon some of the other anime that I ended up thoroughly enjoying. One of the first ones that I shouldn't have watched. Uh, well, technically, Adult Swim was the first ones I shouldn't have watched, and my parents were just like, "Ah, it's fine." So like the first, like I guess what you would call adult-centric anime that I watched was probably Inuyasha. Um, it was the first one that had cursing, uh, and stuff like that in it. I can't tell what's over here. Oh, it's a rock. Oh no, I can't do anything with this yet. Um, but yeah, so Inuyasha was one of my first big, big, like adult anime, if you can call it that. After that, I discovered that Inuyasha had the same issue as a lot of shonen, though, where it was the same concept over and over again, and like it worked. If it didn't work, we wouldn't still have that. But I don't think it was the correct thing. There were so many times that they should have already beaten Naraku. And instead we ended up in a situation where it's like, I guess Naraku's gonna get away again. Um, it did. It was um the thing is that we had better options. I think it was just that they didn't uh do as well. Like Yu Yu Hakusho was great. Uh it didn't have as much of the bad guy of the week thing going. It was more of a ultimate bad guy of the month thing. But like we never got past the Force Saint Beast with Adult Swim. And then it kept switching between Adult Swim and Toonami. And so, like, we eventually got the Dark Tournament. I think we didn't get the Dark Tournament until it went to Toonami, though. So we didn't get, like, the uncut version of the Dark Tournament. And I know that they never, if I remember correctly, they never did the season after that because that got very questionable as far as morality and stuff, which is the whole purpose of it. But you know, they couldn't show stuff like that. Tagashi Sensei is absolutely amazing. If y'all haven't read or watched Yu Yu Hakusho or Hunter x Hunter, it's well worth it. I suggest watching Yu Yu Hakusho first because it was like his first work. So, but that's just me, probably. And then I'm trying to think. I discovered Sci-Fi had anime, and that's how I discovered Gatekeepers 21, which is technically a sequel to Gatekeepers, but in a very weird way. Read or Die, I discovered through that. I do love Hunter. It will always be one of my favorites, and I really hope that Tagashi Sensei does get to finish it. For those that haven't heard, in every other one of my streams, I adore One Piece, and I have been a fan of it, unfortunately, since the 4Kids days. I have subjected my partner to having to listen to the One Piece rap. I am not sorry for that. Remember that Adult Swim was the one that got Blood Plus. And you can't find that either. So, I do have the entire thing for Blood Plus, even though you can't find it anymore. So, I have the whole series for that. I also have some of the light novels for that. My other biggest foray into the anime into anime was Dot Hack, and I always end up missing like a whole bunch of episodes when I tried to watch Dot Hack, and I still loved that series, and I still love it to this day because I feel like it is proof that you don't need Sakuga to make a series good. I know it's freaking crazy concept, right? Ooh, what are these? Do I need to water these? They look cute. Let's water them. Don't need to water them. It's not doing anything. It's fun. Let's see. So I watched a lot of the 4Kids stuff too. Card Captors. But I had a friend in middle school that had the Japanese subtitled DVDs for it, so I ended up watching like the actual versions for Card Captors. Instead of the shonenified ones. She also had the entire series to Escaflowne, so I didn't have to watch that either. Why did I do that? Escaflowne is great, and I'm still confused how 4Kids fucks up one of the biggest shoujo mecha anime to ever exist just because they wanted it to be more shonen. Although I'm still upset that the anime took away her glasses because her glasses were adorable. I will stand by that. It kind of was treated that way. But one of the first anime that I ever watched on DVD was from Blockbuster. And I shouldn't have watched it, but honestly, I didn't care. It was Golden Boy. And I still stand by Golden Boy is great. It is super raunchy, but I adore the protagonist so much. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what else I ended up getting from. I got Berserk from Blockbuster too, the original Berserk. I love Berserk. It's fantastic. Yeah, I think I know what one. Instead of a slideshow, yeah, but it still looks better than some animes with CG nowadays. I just wish that they had adapted more than the original. Like, I wish they had made movies because those definitely don't exist. They definitely never made any more of it. That made the Dragon Slayer sword sound like a frying pan when it hit things. Obviously those are more like adult-centric animes. Do not watch those with children. There are plenty of anime out there that you can watch with kids. Those are just not them. Yes, I think, I don't know if Rapunzel, I can't remember if Rapunzel came out before the Berserk. I haven't looked into it when it came out again. Uh, I think it might have came out before then, but you know, um, I kind of stick to the like besides One Piece, which yes has cursing and a bunch of fights and stuff. Now, I don't watch a whole bunch of like child-centric anime. Magical Doremi was adorable. I loved that, but that was also in my Winx Club phase. Berserk was 90s, but the one I'm talking about, uh, the one I'm talking about is Berserk 2016, which does not exist. Do not look it up. Definitely was never made. Freaking horrible what they did to my boy. Guts deserved better. Casca deserved better. Maybe that's what they stole it from. I would hope not. Would be surprised if Disney didn't sue them if they did. Disney's so sue happy. The thing if we're gonna discuss some of the old anime though is I have watched so Digimon 01. I watched obviously and 02, and I watched Tamers. I kind of fell off after Tamers. Which I know was bad. I'm sorry. I like Digimon Frontier, and it has like one of the best theme songs for Digimon ever. But I adore Tamers, and the fact that it's made by the creator of Serial Experiments Lane was just kind of funny at the time. I still don't care for Lane. It reminds me a lot of Ergo Proxy, where it's pretentious. But I've watched that too. But then, you know, they decided to bring back 01, like a whole bunch with the movies, which I watched the movies. I had a surgery 2 days before the first movie had like a one night thing in theaters. And I wasn't supposed to be up a whole bunch, but I told them I don't care. We are going there, and I am walking up those steps because I am not missing this. Yes, they do. And then everyone was excited whenever they made that music video that made it look like they were going to make more of 01. It looks like they're going to farm 02 a bit more now. Anyone that hasn't played some of the Digimon stories should also give those like a look. They're actually really good. I can play some of those on here at some point if anyone's like interested. So, One Piece is great. It's really slow at the beginning, and honestly, it's not something I can legitimately just suggest to people because I've been watching it so long. I have Digimon World, like the original Digimon World for PlayStation. I also have Digimon World 3. And I enjoyed them. Cyber Sleuth is great. Some of the other ones, I heard Survive is actually really good, but people didn't like it because it's more of a visual novel style game. I'd like to give it a try eventually, but I'm not sure who all would be interested in that. I'm still trying to kind of grow the community and see what everyone like wants. I'd like if we did something like anime wise, I wouldn't mind like Wednesday being the anime game day, and then we can always discuss that like on the anime day. But having streams sort of like what Gigic does for his streams, we can watch some of the like openings and stuff, and we can like do a tier list or something. If anyone want to watch that, I'd be perfectly down to do that. If anyone wants to collab for that, I'd be down for that too. Sure, I will give Code Vein a try. Um, if I ever get like my stuff done, I'd like to do like a stream where I'm not filtered and we can talk about some of the weirder shit out there though. Like if I could ever actually get a Patreon going, which like don't get me wrong, I don't see myself being able to do anytime soon. Uh I don't want people to think that that's why I'm here, and I'm sorry if it comes off that way, but the only way I'd be able to do it is Patreon. I'd love to play Higurashi with some people. Uh, I love Higurashi. I love the anime to it, but you have to have kind of a strong stomach to watch that. I won't say that it's... So that's not one of my, like, bigger takes. Not one of my, like, yeah, I shouldn't suggest this, because, like, Shiki is one of the best known horror anime, and I can definitely say... I was leaning forward. My posture's horrible, I'm sorry. I can definitely say that, like, it is very gruesome. Shiki is kind of weird, though. So, Shiki has a very down-to-earth storyline, but the hair is Yu-Gi-Oh-tastic. Uh, and I don't know why they decided to do that. Really? Because it is based on a novel series? Wait, no, it's just based on a novel, if I remember. Shinsekai Yori is based on 3 novels. Um, we'll get to that one. So, anyone that, oh, uh, hooray, we're gonna have more rain tomorrow. I think it's supposed to start raining around, like, 8 p.m. here. So, anyone that doesn't know, Higurashi is told in segments. You're told the question segment and then the answer segment. So almost the entirety of the first season is actually, like, the answer segment, or the question segments. So you have to start watching the second season to get the answer segments, and it's a very good story. But you're gonna be very confused for a while, and that is totally valid. No, I have to go put stuff up so that I can pick up seashells, so I can sell seashells by the seashore. I have trouble with that one and anemone. See an anemone. Anemone. Damn. But yeah, if it was on Patreon, I could probably get away with like actually like watching stuff with Patreon supporters though. I need to put this in here because it has a star. Just like all of you. All of you are stars. I need to look at Patreon TOS again though. But yeah, it's a very, Higurashi's a very gruesome anime. Umineko was made by the same developer. And it is technically a sequel, but it's not a sequel. You don't have to watch Higurashi to understand Umineko. It's just better if you do. And then there was a reboot of Higurashi, which is actually like a sequel. So yeah, it's a complicated situation. Not as complicated as trying to figure out Dot Hack, which is a multimedia franchise. So you have the games, and then you have the shows, and then you have the novels. I will eventually cover the entirety of that series, though. I like to do like content like that. Uh, but as I said, I'm trying to kind of build this community so that I know what all of you want too. It's not just something that I want to do. It's important that it's something that y'all will enjoy and maybe want to talk about with me here on stream. Um, So going from my wonderful takes on something like Higurashi, um, I have my own weird feelings about certain like genres or subgenres. Really, I guess some of them have become genres at this point. Um, so let's start with some of those. Isekai. I'm sure everyone. This is not a hot take. There is too much isekai at this point, and most of them are not very good. Um, Most of them are trying to work off the renown of other well-known isekai. Uh, so stuff like sword art and things like that. I'm sure people know that I don't care for it, but Rise of the Shield Hero did get a lot of attention, so obviously it's not doing bad. I don't even know if there's a dozen that I would count myself as wanting to watch. And I hate saying that. Part of it, again, is that Dot Hack was my, like, I guess, stepping stone into the genre. I know I said Escaflowne. Escaflowne, Magic Knight Rayearth are great. They are closer to what I would consider kid friendly. Uh, a lot of Clamp stuff is more kid friendly, obviously. Clamp is great. They work hard. For those that don't know, Clamp is for female mangaka. I'm sure most people that if they've watched any anime have heard of them in some way, shape, or form. They made the art style for Code Geass, so that if nothing else, most people know of. I know it's Code Gay ass. But I would definitely consider like watching Clamp is great. They're just like wholesome for the most part. It gets more adult the further in you go, I'd have to say. Like I don't know if I would count Holic as like completely kid friendly. See, I can't think of Code Geass without thinking, why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Um, and then we have our mecha anime. I'm not a huge mecha fan. Um, I'm not trying to sound rude with that, really. Uh, I don't mind. Like I didn't mind watching Ava once, but I can't say that I care for it. Mostly because I want to punch Shinji. Uh, I know I'm horrible. Um, But my first foray into mecha was Gundam Wing, and then Gundam Seed, and Zoids. We're counting Zoids as mecha because Zoids was great. Zoid Chaotic Century is fantastic, but you can't find it anywhere anymore. um, so like I don't know. I have some weird things that I like with those. I love Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann is fantastic. I think everyone knows that. Um, I'll go back to Isekai in a bit. Or, uh, Isekai is going to lead me into another thing that people are probably going to get angry at me about. So, not everyone. And I know that everyone kind of has people that disagree with them for hot takes or whatever. I don't honestly think it's a hot take, but because of some of my choices in anime, people might think that I'm being hypocritical. But I will explain myself, and I will kind of defend my position. But in the end, what I like is what I like. So uh, for mecha, I don't know. It's just one of those things. If I'm gonna watch a mecha anime, I feel like I should just watch Megas XLR. Which, if I could get away with playing the theme song, for sure, I totally would. But I'm pretty sure I'd have to do uh, audio jungle for that, without getting DMCA'd, getting a Twitch bad slap on the wrist for my first foray into that. That's not true because I had one that was targeted on YouTube a long time ago, but we don't talk about that. That doesn't actually exist. It really doesn't. Um, but it was because I played the opening theme to a game that I was streaming. Um, but like I don't know. The mecha genre wasn't really for me. Escaflowne was another like weird situation with that because like I don't feel like it focused on the giant mechas. I like Big O, but I was also older when I watched that. I think that helped. Let's just go ahead and for the people that want to argue it, I will get into why I do not care for certain isekai, like Rising of the Shield Hero kind of specific things. I do not agree with the whole buying the slaves thing and then having them be like the harem. There are exceptions to that. If the show takes the piss, like Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World, I will let it get away with it. That show takes the piss because like it knows what it's doing and it takes it to like 30. But Rising of the Shield Hero doesn't do that. Uh, because it's very obvious that the girls have a thing for him, but he's like, watch them grow up too, and at least in harem, like they're adults, uh, that can consent. It just feels a little weird. I'm not okay with the whole they raised them thing and they're like attracted to them. That's just me. I do not do Usagi drop stuff. Uh, Again, I'm not going to flack anyone that watches it. Uh, if that's what you want, that's fine. I'm not going to shame anyone. It's just not for me. Um, there are a lot of really stupid isekai that I would watch, like, but I honestly prefer stuff that is just like skeezy. already set up kind of thing. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, so the reason I say that people are probably going to give me shit is because another anime that I really do enjoy is Ancient Magus Bride. And I know it has a little bit of the same premise. Um, for those that don't know what Ancient Magus Bride is, it is the story of a girl who basically gives up on life and she agrees to sell herself at an auction. And in the process of doing that, she is bought by a mage who says that he actually bought her to be his wife. And there's a few reasons that I consider it different. One is because it actually treats that as a not like good thing. He is treated as kind of a creeper for saying that. The other thing is it's treating it as the codependency is not good. The main girl, actually, the entirety of the first season is basically about her escaping codependency. And then in the second one, you kind of find out why he says that, and it's a bit different from what you'd expect. So, also their feelings develop over time, kind of thing. So I don't know. I see it a bit different. I understand those that don't and think that I'm just being a jerk about it, but that's just my reasoning. Like, I don't like the they raise them so they're gonna get together kind of thing. It's just I don't know. Again, not holding against anyone that likes that. To each their own. Let's see. So I've watched a lot of stupid harem too. I love to lover. However, I will admit that it got kind of off topic. In the later seasons. Part of that is because the main love interest was based off of the author's actual wife, and they got divorced. So that didn't work out anymore. I love Lala. Lala's great. Excuse me. But then her sisters get pulled into it, and it just becomes a huge harem thing with Momo trying to constantly get in the main character's pants. And it became very suggestive. Although the manga is extremely suggestive, and for those that don't know, the author would actually draw, like, he was not allowed to draw fully nude models in the manga because it was done for Shonen Jump Plus, which meant that he could draw more risque things, he just couldn't draw full-on nudity. So what he would do is in the background, if there was a faucet or something, he would draw the fully nude model. So if you look really closely, you can see stuff. Random stuff that no one really cares about, but facts nonetheless. I love that. I was a huge fan of Chobits, which is another Clamp series. That one's definitely not for children either. That is about, for those that don't know, because that is a very old series at this point. It is about a college student, well, basically college student, that nowadays they have personalized computers that look like humans, called Persicoms. And you can have it look like anything, like, we know what some people are using it for. But he doesn't have the money for one. He ends up finding one dumped in the garbage one day. He takes it home. He discovers the switch in an unconventional location. Is that a good way of putting it? Yeah, I know. It's old. He ends up finding the switch in an unconventional location, and Instead of it being a like computer that can already work, it kind of is a learning situation where she can learn as she goes. It's a very cute, and honestly, it's pretty wholesome considering the content. uh, it's far from the worst thing out there, for sure. Uh, I found a housey bit. Um, but yeah. So like. Okay. It looks like a person, but if you want to say it's an artifact, I will go with it. What is this? Nothing. Okay. But yeah, it's kind of about him learning to interact with her and basically developing a relationship, and you get to meet a few characters and discover their like situations too, and like their interactions with Persicom through all of this, and you find out that each person kind of has a different way of seeing them, and it's a neat way to think about, especially with AI becoming more complex nowadays. I won't say that it's anything like super in depth or anything like that, because it's not. But it's a cute little series, and I enjoyed it. Magic Knight Rayearth is also by Clamp. It's a little more child friendly. It has like the magical girl thing. It's about 3 girls that are in Tokyo Tower that get transported to a magical world where they are tasked with saving the Princess Emerald. And actually, that is where the name Celeste comes from. They each do get a mecha that has the form like of the spirit of a type of animal, and Umi, who is obviously the water-centric character, she gets a dragon, and their name is Celeste, and it is actually spelled with an S, and so I took the name as my own. That is why I'm Celeste the Water Dragon, and is also why I'm here to bring chaos and fun to all of the world from the oceans near you. Wherever the ocean near you is. Some of y'all might not be anywhere near an ocean. It's still an ocean near you. I'm bringing the ocean to you now. That's how this works. Need a splash emote. I'm working on that. But yeah, so that one's good. Do I have it? Do I have a thing? I think I have a thing. No, I did not. I did not yet. I have these though, so I can sell all of them. Put this away. Put this away. What other ones? So everyone kind of knows Cardcaptor Sakura, usually abbreviated CCS. That one's probably their most kid-friendly series of any. My controller decided to be silly for a second. Cardcaptor Sakura is about a girl goes into her basement one day and ends up opening a book that outflies a whole bunch of cards. And then comes out the little mascot character, Kiro Barros, better known in the series as Kiro. Which, yes, Kiro is adorable. And Kiro ends up telling her that he was the protector of the Clow cards, which were in the book, and he had fallen asleep. And so he didn't realize that now they're all gone. So now it's Sakura's destiny to get all of the Clow cards again and become the master of the Clow, basically. And she ends up meeting Shaoran, or Lee. Really, it is Lee in that series. and then Shauron in a later series that was made with the same types of characters. They're not the actual same characters, but it's really complicated, which is an isekai that I like, though. It's called Tsubasa, and I'm not going to try and explain that series because that is a rabbit hole that I don't think any of us have time for. Skeezy. The easiest way to put it is it's the Dark Tower of anime. So... Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, let's be more specific. So yeah, but yeah, there's the first series, which is the Cardcaptor Sakura, and then there is the second half of the series, which is the Sakura arc type thing. I don't remember if it had a special name for it. There's a movie that takes place in the first season, and then there's a movie that takes place after the second season. They can be kind of hard to find on legitimate methods. But I highly suggest watching them. It's super adorable. And then there is a new one I haven't had the chance to watch. I'm sorry. It's the Clear Clow arc. So yeah. So if you want to watch like cutesy anime, Magical Doremi, which is about like little girls that get like witch abilities, is super adorable. Not anime, but Winx Club, the original Winx Club, which, if I remember, I can't remember if it was French or Italian. Which they have a teen version to on Netflix now. But we didn't get the official Winx because we got 4Kids Winx. But Magical Doremi, Winx, Yu-Gi-Oh! You can always watch it because the 4Kids dub. It's kid friendly with finger guns. Digimon obviously was kid friendly. Even the Japanese version was actually pretty kid friendly. I adore Tsubasa. So Tsubasa, without going too far in it, like I said, is the combination. Hi. Digimon was kid friendly, but with the idea that kids are still humans and can understand things. That's an issue that I feel like a lot of things don't acknowledge, especially nowadays. But Tsubasa is the culmination of, like all of the stuff from I am not a JoJo customer. How dare you? Even if you are cheaper, I won't do it. But it combines all of Clamp's works, which is it's absolutely great. I adore it, but it can be a bit much to get into. I suggest doing the manga because the anime, the second season was not actually done completely by Clamp. I'm sorry, Mama. I see you, and I appreciate you being here. We were talking about anime, and I was on a rant, and I am easily distracted. But thank you for coming. I really appreciate anyone that joins. All my little Azure beans that are here. The manga was absolutely fantastic. I have like the entirety of the Tsubasa manga along with the you need to read this character guides, both of them, and both art books. But the second season of the anime was not officially done by Clamp, and so there was the issue of they didn't want to wait for an ending, so they made their own, and it didn't go as well as it did with FMA. Full Metal Alchemist did an excellent job. The first season is great, and because of it, it kind of made it hard to watch Brotherhood, because the beginning of Brotherhood is not correct, and they expect you to have watched the other one, so you kind of have a toss-up there. Brotherhood's beginning is nonsense if you haven't watched the original, because you have no idea what the hell they're talking about half the time. Because they expect you to know. And the beginning of the original FMA is perfect, because it's the beginning of the manga. The movie was kind of silly for the original FMA, and the movie for Brotherhood was completely useless. I know it's non-canonical. That doesn't technically make it nonsense, it just means it's non-canon. Too much talking here. And in the game, not in chat. I love you, chat. But yeah, so if you read Tsubasa, you'll notice that there is overlap with another series that was being made at the same time, called Holic, or XXX Holic, which XXX is actually put in the place of whatever needed to be put there, because Holic, in this case, represents something that you hold dear to you, and it is about a guy who is haunted by spirits, and he wants to get rid of that ability, and he ends up in a shop that grants wishes for a price, the price being something that you hold most dear to you, usually. Or something that is equivalent in exchange, that you hold dear. So, like, simple things aren't going to cost much, but, other things Yuko can't really do anything about. To give an idea, there is an episode where the person, trying to think of how to word it without, I can spoil an episode. It's not going to destroy it for you, but, and it's not, like, a super important episode. It's just one that, like, it's all canon, but, it's not canon in the way that it's going to influence a whole bunch of the story later. But a lady comes in and she has smoke around her that Watanuki, the main character, can see. And to her, she can't see it, but she's feeling very heavy. So the smoke is apparently weighing her down some. It's specifically around her pinky finger. And so Yuko ends up giving her a ring. And she says that she needs to think on stuff that she's been doing, and think if there's any bad habits she needs to break. To which she says no, there's definitely no bad habits. And so, Watanuki ends up seeing her outside of this, and he ends up seeing her tell a whole bunch of differentiating stories to people. So her bad habit is that she has a tendency to lie to people to keep up appearances. And you start to see that every time she lies, the smoke gets worse. So the ring can subdue it to an extent, but it can't completely get rid of it. Yay, we can renew our parsnips. So she's doing that, and she ends up like um he ends up talking to Yugo, and he's like, well, why didn't you tell her about that? And she's like, well, if you tell someone about their bad habit, it's still up to them to change their bad habit. Uh, so basically, telling her won't necessarily help. And so she didn't charge her for the ring, and you see why. Because you see like the consequences of her actions by the end of it. It's a good episode, so that's what I'll leave it at. But you have a lot of stuff like that. It's kind of a monster of the week type scenario that has an overlying story to it. The voice actress for Luffy actually plays Yuko in it, Colleen Clickenbeard, which I've met her. She is fantastic. I love her. I have a signature from her on a poster with Luffy on it, because of course I do, from a con I went to. I also have the poster signed by Monica. I have a poster from Subasta signed by Monica Rial, who does Sakura, and I want Chris Sabat to sign that one because he plays what's his name, Kuro, in that. Unfortunately, Vic Mignogna is also in that. I suggest the sub if you can deal with it. Just because some of the issues with Vic Mignogna. If you support Vic Mignogna, I'm sorry. I am not a supporter after some of the stuff that he did. Because originally the reason I stopped watching Ruby, and then I just kept not watching it because Ruby's kind of not good. Whoops, sorry, I hit my mic. But yeah, Clamp is a great studio if you feel like just getting into anime, like if it's not something that you've thought of before. Full Metal Alchemist is good. If you can put up with it. Again, another anime that didn't get its ending the same as the original show is Soul Eater. Came out around the same time as Full Metal Alchemist, I know. I prefer the anime's ending. Actually, I'm trying to get my partner to watch Soul Eater with me eventually, but we have so many things that we've been watching, and I'm trying to show them because I am a weeb, and I am not afraid to say that. I love anime. I love all the different styles and the different stories, and some things I feel like can only really be told through that medium. We've been here like an hour, so I can start talking about some of my not so kid friendly things at this point. One that I have shown them, and eventually I do plan for us to finish, but it is very hard for them. And if you haven't seen it, please watch it. Is Nana. It is so good. I could be wrong in suggesting it. I can't say that is for everyone. It is very emotionally draining sometimes, but it is amazing to me. The manga was never finished, so it does have an anime-only ending. It is a beautiful story. It is very down to earth. It is one of the anime that I think was fine as a live action adaptation. The mangaka that did it does a lot of stuff like that. Paradise Kiss is another one that they do. I prefer Nana, but I'd have to say Paradise Kiss is good, and it's a little less emotionally draining. I have a very big tendency to watch what people would consider emotionally draining shows. My mod can vouch for that. Or, soul crushing, like, morbid shows. Whichever one of those you want to suggest, I do not mind. Um, Nana is very good. Nana is the story of two girls. Yeah, we're gonna discuss that one later. That's after the hour and a half like area at least. Because I don't want people coming in here and thinking I'm just going off already, suggesting something like that, and I cannot, in good faith, fully suggest that one to everybody. um, would I like to be able to? Yeah, but there's absolutely no way I can. uh, um, I can't remember if they take materials, so I'm gonna take these two. Um, but Nana is about two girls that end up moving to Tokyo at the same time, both named Nana, which, if you don't know any Japanese, means seven. One Nana counts this as a burden. So one of them is moving to Tokyo because her boyfriend moved to Tokyo and she wants to be with him. He is a college student. She doesn't know what she wants to do with her life. She knows that she wants to be with him. She's the love-struck fool. The other one moved to Tokyo. Her boyfriend also went to Tokyo after being introduced to a band. Which the first Nana I talked about is a big fan of, named Trap Nest. And he offered for her to come with him. And she declined. She's the singer of a band, and she decided she would make her own way. So she ended up making her own money and being able to go to Tokyo. So she moved to Tokyo to start her own band there and make it big with her own name. I came too late. No. Got all this stuff and now we're late. Oh, don't worry. We're gonna get into the emotional trauma stuff. We will definitely get into that. But, Nana is a slice of life in the utmost sense. But it is a down-to-earth slice of life, so it's not the high school, hopeful kind of slice of life. It is the bad things are going to happen, and you have to learn to pick yourself up or have people there that can help you pick yourself up. And I feel like, especially as a streamer, we can I know that we appreciate that because it's hard sometimes. Like, learning to pick yourself up. And, like, sometimes we think that, like, we look at the streams and we're like, why is no one watching me? And we realize we don't have a community yet sometimes, or, you know, we haven't reached the audience that we want yet, and it's not necessarily us. And sometimes we just need, like, someone in our corner to push us and do better. But I will say that it doesn't always work out. So from that, we're going to go into another one that I highly suggest, and I am making my partner watch. But we're having to do an episode at a time, because otherwise I think that they're going to mentally break, and that is Kotaro-san. I don't know many people that have even heard of Kotaro-san. It is very good, though. So Kotaro-san is far less realistic. It is about an Esper. So she has the ability to read minds, and she does not have the ability to control that, though. So, she does it without realizing it whenever she's younger, and it causes her a whole bunch of problems. It basically completely destroys her life from a very young age, before she gets into high school. And when she gets into high school, she ends up meeting someone that they're able to be honest with what they think with her. And it brings out a very good, it brings out a different side to her. But she still has to deal with the fact that people know sort of about her abilities and stuff like that. And it's a good show. I hate the end. I will say that. Some people say that a show is made by its ending. It's make or break by that. I don't fully believe that. Part of my reasoning behind that is because I know a lot of people did not like Erased, which I still need to make my partner watch. But Erased ending, people didn't like. I didn't mind it, but I do understand why it wasn't the most liked show. It's very good if you can get past the whole children talking like adults thing, but I feel like there's a lot of anime that does that. That was all I'm going to say on Kotorazon. I suggest watching it, because if I say really anything else about it, it's going to kind of ruin the experience. But I will say, if you're in a bad place mentally, please don't watch it. Because it is mentally draining, and it can be very, very hard to watch something like that. So let's go into Erased for people that don't know about Erased too. I don't know. You watched the second episode and you were like, we need another break. Yay, I got a stone. Yay, I got a green thing. Oh, because the geodes. Okay, I need to go give these to people. So Erased is, about a guy who has the ability to go back in time. He cannot control that at certain things. And he's able to change stuff by doing that. Yay! I have no specific way I'm going to be doing this, so we're just gonna sit things. Damn. I might annoy some people, I don't care. Yay! I got a reward! Cauliflower seeds! I don't know how you call a flower. Or how you get seeds after doing it. I probably don't want to know. But, he ends up in a situation where his mom, is not doing well. And so he is able to go all the way back to his childhood. And, he has to find out, about a killer in his childhood and like stop them. And it's a good series. Again, I can't say more because it's a murder mystery thing. So like I'd go into it like mostly blind. It does, however, have one of the best openings because it was done by Asian Kung Fu Generation, which, if you don't know, is mostly famous for their Naruto openings. So that's the thing. We'll go over some like anime openings eventually on stream, I think. I'd like to do that. But yeah, so what else to talk about? Let's talk about some of the anime that have come out recently. How about that? Let's talk about some shit that has gone down that needs to be corrected. I'm sorry in advance if y'all hear like the dog because it is starting to rain again and our dog is scared and uses our door for comfort. I don't know why. But that's what she does until my mom goes to bed. She's gonna be like next to the door. So let's be honest, everybody here. If you are not 10, which you should not be in here if you are 10, I am sorry, get out. This is definitely not the place for you. But I love all of my little followers, but I'm saying too many curse words. I am a bad influence, and you should not be around me. You're 12 mentally. So solo leveling should not have won anime of the year. I'm just saying it. Like, Sakuga does not equal good storytelling. It has beautiful Sakuga. It has beautiful action scenes. But my good bitches, it is not a good story. It's not. Bleach has a better story. Bleach doesn't have a story, it just has like the best first opening of like any anime that has ever existed. And I refuse to take back that statement. If I ever do a karaoke stream, I'm singing that song. I will not apologize for this. Of the ones that should have won, my personal vote is for Freyrin. I know, but you can't even like go against the fact that song is like iconic for the first season of Bleach. That's the only reason I bought the DVDs. Remember when DVDs existed? I'm also singing Shikanoko if we ever do a karaoke stream. But Call of the Night's opening. Anyone that hasn't seen it, go watch Call of the Night. Season 2 comes out this next month. Hype train. I don't have a hype train. I'm making a theoretical hype train. We'll talk about that one in a little bit, but for now we're gonna talk about the Anime Awards and how they are complete bullshit. Which I mean they're run by Crunchyroll. I don't know what we expect at this point. So Freyrin should have won. Anyone that doesn't know, Freyrin is basically the beginning of a second story after the end of a main story, is the best way to put it. The hero's party has already defeated the Demon Lord. There is an undying elf, or for the most part undying. We don't know exactly how long elves live in the universe. Hi, Clint. Yeah, but if we're being honest, Dandadan is in Shonen Jump. It didn't win either. But yeah, Freyrin is about an undying elf, who decides to continue her journey after that, She agrees to meet up with her friends 50 years later, to which she then realizes she never got to know her friends that did not live a long life. And she wishes that she had. So, part of the story is just Freyren discovering, like, that. Kale! What was that? That was a weird sound. Um, yeah, but I'm counting it as shonen because it was literally in Shonen Jump. That and Sakamoto Days, which like I hate that didn't get as much love as it should. Um, so Freyren has Freyren, and then it has Fern, who is a young girl that was living with one of Freyren's um previous like adventuring buddies. I know, but it still makes me sad. But she lived with one of his adventuring buddies, and so she ends up learning magic because she has keep like she's adept with it, kind of, sort of. It's more or less her forte of something that she can do, and she wants to do something before he dies to like prove herself. So she wants to become a mage. Um, so the story starts off with them where Fern is her apprentice. So Fern is studying like with her, and Fern kind of brings out the human side in Freyren. Um, I would say, and like kind of learning her quirks, and it's a very cute story, but like I wouldn't say it's a slow burn because things happen rather quickly. I would say that it's a lot like Dot Hack, and it's more character interactive though. Um, like it's very much about the characters and their interactions with each other. Um, and how they grow off of each other than it is about necessarily a singular story, because like I said, the story's already really ended, and you get to see bits of why Freyrin feels the way she does, and her realizing that some of the stuff that she took for granted may have meant something else to someone that was important to her that she didn't realize was important to her yet. Um, I love that story so much, and that series was robbed. I will die on this hill. Um, it is a. What are these weird noises coming from my farm? I'm hearing stuff. Uh, so, um, Freyrin deserved better. I highly suggest it. Freyrin season 2 will be coming out January 2026. Super excited for that. But let's go to stuff that's coming out soon. Don to Don season 2 or core 2, whatever they want to call it at this point, is coming out this on the 3rd. So Don to Don is the best if you go into it blind. Honestly, it honestly is, because there is no way I can describe Don to Don and it come off the correct way. Um, just gonna tell the truth about it. It is a shonen. It is mixed with shoujo. Um, in the end, it is a shonen with an overarching love story. Like, and it kind of tells that from the beginning. That's not really a spoiler. Um, I love the main characters. I love Okarun. I love Momo. Uh, Later on, we get some other characters, and at first I hated one of them. She's so obnoxious, but I ended up loving her, and I can't hate the characters. Even what some would consider the villains. Um, Momorin, I think is the name of the ship. I will forever down that hill too. It's very cute. It's very wacky. Um, Everyone should give that one a try. It's not very long, so you can finish it in just a day or two, depending on how much you feel like watching it once. Um, so that's coming out. So we can discuss Call of the Night now because Call of the Night actually comes out this next month too. Um, Call of the Night. Uh, how to go? We're talking. It's weird because I want to be honest. Um, with this, and so the ones I'm talking about right now are ones that, yes, it honestly is. So if you didn't know, Call of the Night is actually based on a song by Creepy Nuts, uh, who are the ones that do the opening for Dawn to Dawn and Call of the Night. They also do the ending to Call of the Night. I'm going to be very upset if they don't do the opening and ending to Call of the Night Season 2. So the thing is that Dawn to Dawn, um, Call of the Night, and Dress Up Darling, because I'm going to talk about Dress Up Darling in a little bit, are adult wholesome stories. That's the only way I can really describe this that I can think of, um, because they are not meant for kids because of some of the content in them. But I definitely say that the story itself is very wholesome. I don't know if that makes sense to everyone. I'll So Call of the Night is about a boy that he gets kind of fed up with you know, everyday life. So he starts skipping school, and he starts going out in the middle of the night. He wants to like nightlife because there's not as many people around. It's a different atmosphere. He likes the atmosphere, and in the process, he ends up meeting a vampire. Um, what, lie down? What? What I do? What Celeste do? You do not understand. Nani? Nani the fuck? Um, but yeah, so he ends up meeting a vampire, um, which she's really crude. But anytime that you talk about like cute, wholesome stuff like dating, she gets super embarrassed, and it is the most adorable thing ever. And um, like I adore her. She is so cute. The art is great. I love the colors. I love the choices for animation in that one. Like, but again, it's one of those that's weird because there's adult elements, but I would consider it 1000% a wholesome anime. Um, so he wants to become a vampire so he can continue like nightlife. But the thing is, you find out that the only way to become a vampire is that uh, you have to fall in love with the vampire, and he has never fallen in love before. So, um, which anytime he brings up, she gets super embarrassed. And yeah, it's a cute little wholesome anime. Um, it's very short too, so I definitely suggest it. And I think it comes out around the 4th or 5th of this next month. Um, when it comes out, I'll definitely be talking about it. I should probably mention Dawn to Dawn is on Netflix, and then it has a secondary run on Crunchyroll. So Netflix gets it first, Crunchyroll gets it, I think, a week later ish. Um, Call of the Night is on High Dive. Um, we're talking about because of course we're talking about legal services because we are on Twitch. Um, but yeah, so um, it's kind of his way. It's kind of his thing of learning to fall in love, and so I think it's really cute. Um, Dress Up Darling. Dress Up Darling is probably one of the cutest like fan service rom-coms I have ever seen. I'm sorry. I I miss stuff sometimes because I can't read. So Dress Up Darling is about a boy who um he makes a specific type of doll in Japan. Usually they are given for like Women's and Children's Day. If I remember, his name is Gojo? Is it Gojo? Pretty sure it's Gojo. I am fact checking myself. Hold on. And by I'm fact checking, I mean I'm making my mod. See, my mod is great. This is why I love them. Well, one of the reasons I love them. The other one is just because I love them. Also because I love to give hugs and loves in chat. Ah, there's a fly. I don't know how it got in here. Probably on the fly. Y'all are gonna get a bunch of like really bad puns in here. I realize that none of you were informed of this, and I'm not apologizing for it. So Dress Up Darling is about Gojo, who makes a specific type of doll his family has been making for generations. His grandfather does it. He learned it. He thinks that they're beautiful, so he wants to be as good as his grandfather one day. Yes, he makes Hina dolls. My understanding is Hina dolls are usually given on like Little Ladies' Day. I know that they were given, and then for Children's Day they are given, and I think they might be given for weddings as well. They've gotten more and more intricate over the years. I always wanted like a little set because the couple sets are just so cute. But he was made fun of, so he does not share this with people usually because one of his former friends said it was weird. Then you meet Marin, one of his classmates that he meets because he goes to sew things, and she is in there because his sewing machine at home stopped working. She's trying to make a cosplay, and she absolutely sucks at it. Poor thing put her heart and soul into it, but she is not good at it. I feel that. I have tried. Yeah. I actually found out about Hina dolls because of an episode of Pokemon, because Misty always complained she never got a set of Hina dolls because her sisters all got sets of Hina dolls and they just passed her down the old ones. Weird facts. But she finds out he can sew. So she basically gets him to agree to help her with her cosplays for okay, we're past the hour and a half mark. She plays smut games, and she wants cosplays from those smut games, and he decides to help, and she looks fucking fabulous. She looks fabulous anyway. She's a model. I love her. She is so cute. She is not ashamed she is an otaku. Um, but that is also the second season is coming out, and I am so excited for it. Oh, I'm so excited. The fly keeps getting on the TV. But it's very obvious that Marin has a thing for Gojo. Like, and it's so cute. And but yeah, so those are things that I suggest to watch. But all of them are very short. All of them will continue this next month. Another one that will be starting next month is the second half of the season of Sakamoto Days, because I refuse to accept that what we got was a full season. Sakamoto Days, the animation is not what I'd call spectacular, but it's great for what it is. It is a shonen that's more slapstick than it is shonen. It is about a former assassin who now has a family and has like gone away from that, but he has people that are out to kill him, and so he has to use his excellent assassinating skills to no longer assassin, instead make friends, basically. He is a chubby dad, and he is fantastic. I love him. His wife is spectacular too. There's another anime that I'd suggest if you want to watch Sakamoto Days, and that's Way of the House Husband. It is a slapstick as well. The animation is far from what people would call like spectacular quality or anything. But it's funny. Like, I pretty much guarantee that everyone will laugh at least once with it. Way of the House Husband has 2 seasons. Sakamoto has like 10 episodes, I think they did. And they were counting that as the first half, and then because it wasn't a very long wait, we're getting the second half this next month. So let's go into I said Frieren is coming out in January 2026. Another anime that I suggest watching. I'm not going to talk about Demon Slayer. Everyone fucking knows about Demon Slayer. It's not coming out in January, but I wanted to bring that up. A series that got overlooked because of Demon Slayer, is just gonna sell this fish. Hell's Paradise. So Hell's Paradise is about a former assassin as well. He's decided to give it up to live a carefree life with his wife, but then the clan that he is involved in decides to sell him out instead. Yeah, Spy Fam is great too. We'll talk about that one eventually. I'm trying to cover a couple of things that have been overlooked and I feel like deserve a little more love for now. So Hell's Paradise, he gets sold out, and basically he ends up being given a second chance if he agrees to go to this place that no one has survived, and get the elixir of life for the Emperor. So of course he agrees because he will get a full pardon if he does this, and he wants to go back to his wife, who has taught him the significance of living. Each person is assigned like a bodyguard who was an executioner, basically, for like these severe criminals. So you get to see like all of them. You get to learn about like their backstories and stuff too, and like it's very good. It's very like flashy, in the way that it does like. I guess it's like I said, it's a lot like Demon Slayer, in that. But the season 2 is going to be coming out January 2026, and it will be the end of the series. The manga has already concluded. So I highly suggest that, if you like anime, like it's just it is a very overlooked series, and it needs more love. So I'm gonna go into a couple of series that I personally like. Well, I guess before that, another series that got overlooked, which we're waiting for season 2. It has been announced, but we do not have a date for. That did not get the love it deserved this year is Dungeon Meshi, or Delicious in Dungeon. Dungeon Meshi is about a group of adventurers that went into the dungeon, and their cleric died, or at least was eaten by a dragon. We don't know exactly at the time like what's going on with that. We do find out that it takes a while for a dragon to digest. So they're hoping to get to the dragon before she is digested. She is the younger sister to the fighter paladin of the group, and the schoolmate to the mage of the group, Marcel. So Leos is the paladin fighter, whatever you want to call him. He's an adorable goofball. I am determined that he has autism. I know that the author has said he does not have autism, but he has autism. And I identify with him. uh, Marcel is adorable. And then you have Chilchuck, who is like the lockpicker rogue of the group. So they ended up teleported back. The rest of their group leaves because, I mean, they just lost their cleric. It's not going to pay anything because they weren't able to bring anything back with them. So, like, why would they keep going with this group? And so they end up being like, okay, what do we do? And they end up meeting a guy named Senshi. So if you've been on the YouTubes long enough, you might know an anime connoisseur by the name of ProZD. He actually voices Senshi. ProZD is great. No! Go play Bad Bird! My crops! And he teaches them that you can actually eat stuff from in the dungeon. Which sounds like something that someone would already have known, but apparently, they didn't, so... YOLO. So they agreed to go in and try and procure, like, foodstuffs from the dungeon. So Senshi is, like, 100% the mom of the group. Senshi keeps everyone fed. That's really all you need to know about the series. Get to go into it. It's absolutely cute. The characters are lovable little dinguses that I just want to hug. And like Um, yeah, he's the dad mom. There's a bunch of just really cute things that happen in that series in general. Um, but it also got passed over for Anime of the Year, and it deserved more love. Um, let's see. So I'm gonna get into some stuff. So there is a game I am going to play. Possibly. I don't know if I'm gonna play the original campaign or just the custom campaign for it. So Maiden Abyss has a game, and the premise to the show would be kind of ruined because you'd basically be playing the show if I played like the main scenario type quest for the game. And so I'm gonna be very honest with this. Maiden Abyss is a great show, and as much as I'd like to say go into it blind, I cannot reasonably say to watch it if you were having any mental issues at all. It really does. So Maiden Abyss has one of the cutest art styles that I have ever seen. I adore the art for Maiden Abyss. It is all chibis. And that's because the main character, like the penultimate main character, there's more than one main character, is like 11. So, again, I know not everyone's okay with certain things. I'm pretty sure Rico's like 11 or 12. Fact check me, oh mod. If there's an actual age. I think it might have been 12. I intend to be fact checked. Yeah, 12. I was close at least. I wasn't like 5 years off or something. So Maiden Abyss. So some amount of time ago, a giant pit is just there. It's called the Abyss. And people have been trying to go into the Abyss to find the bottom of it for quite some time now. And many lose their life to the Abyss. How far you can go down into the Abyss, like, safely is determined by basically a whistle color, which determines, like, everything. Like, basically how much you need to be taken care of. Because the Abyss has something known as the Curse of the Abyss, which, depending on how far you go down, is really bad. We'll get into why in a second. But basically, Rico's mom is a white whistle, which is considered like the penultimate thing if you want to explore the Abyss. Skeezy. Are you being like 12? But Rico wants to be a white whistle like her mom. Right now she is a red whistle, which means that she is like a beginner for all of this, and she is not allowed to go past like the first level of the Abyss, which means whenever she comes up... Alright, there was a fly. Trying to get it to go away, and it won't. So, there's red, there's blue, there's moon, there's black, and then there's white. So, I don't remember what I was doing. Yeah, Riko's a red whistle. She can't go very far into the abyss. The first level of the abyss, the basic like thing when you're coming back up from the abyss is lightheadedness and nausea. So usually you're gonna throw up coming up. Um, and then I can't remember what the second levels thing is right off. Um, but she's not allowed to do that. You have to wait until you're 13 to get a blue whistle. But Riko wants to go deeper, quicker. She ends up finding a robot. Robot is an artifact of the abyss. And because of this, she ends up getting a letter from what she assumes is her mother saying that they will meet her at the bottom of the abyss. So she decides she doesn't have permission. She's just going to go into the abyss. Let's see if I can fact check myself by doing the. I actually have the manga for Made in Abyss. Made in Abyss. Curse of the Abyss. Here we go. Or Depth Sickness. So let's see. Beep. So yeah, so level 1 is mild dizziness and nausea. Level 2, if you come up from there, is intense nausea, headaches, numbness of extremities. Layer 3 is all of the above, plus vertigo, visual and audio hallucinations, and problems with sense of balance. And if a red whistle goes to the second layer, the inverted forest, they are basically counted as dead. No one will be sent to help you. And she is aware of this going in. So, you know, and honestly, I am not telling you anything that is not in like the first 2 episodes. I do understand anyone that doesn't want to watch it just from that, though. The 12-year-old thing. No, I need that back. Is that silver? Is that silver or gold? I can't colors today. Yeah, the abyss sucks. So, I lost my spot. Why did I do that? Yeah, so don't get me wrong. I do believe that it's a series worth watching. So I should probably like go with that as well. So, as the second layer, they're considered dead. Third layer, okay. To an extent, you can still get up. Apparently, there is medicine for the blue whistles that go down to the third layer and want to come back up. Black whistles are the only ones that typically go lower than that. Excuse me. I didn't have one, so it's fine. So we get into the fourth layer. If you try and go up from the fourth layer, there is intense pain throughout the body and bleeding from every orifice. I will remind you that the main character is 12. I don't really need to say more than that. And then I think. Yeah, so I was getting them confused. The main reason I couldn't remember is because I was getting the 5th and the 6th layer mixed up in my head. The 5th layer is loss of all senses, confusion, and self-harm. So basically you start having hallucinations and you will hurt yourself without realizing it. We're gonna make this one purple. It's cute. Y'all are cute. Chat's cute. The art and the music in Made in Abyss is absolutely gorgeous. 6th layer is loss of humanity and death. There is no in between. So yeah, that's She is 12. Um, if you want the most out of it, and this is gonna sound fucking weird, honestly, watch season 1, watch season 2, and then watch the the movie, which is it was annoying, I know, because the movie does take place. You're evilly cute. um, Dragon go. There is a Made in Abyss movie, but if it's not clear, it broke my mod. The first season broke my mod to the point it took a while for me to get them to watch the second season, or like the movie. And then we watched the movie, and I'm like, yeah, there's another season. They're like, I don't know if I want to ever look at this again. And then I convinced them to watch the second season, but then the second season didn't affect them as much. And there's some fucking horrendous things that happen in the second season. Not necessarily to Rico. Let's be clear on that. Not all the bad things happen to Rico. There are other characters. Still horrendous things. I highly love Made in Abyss, but I also understand for the mentality of anyone who decides not to watch it. Let's put it that way. It's the easiest way I can legitimately say like what I feel about it. I'm sorry because I'm not very good at explaining stuff like that. Eventually I'll make enough stuff that we can put like things in different boxes, but for now we're just gonna excuse me. I haven't caffeinated enough. That's what this is. My ADHD needs sustenance. I adore Made in Abyss though. I have the entire manga series so far. The manga basically is only one a year though. Season 3 was confirmed that they will do it. They just haven't said when. I think they're waiting for the manga to get a little further. If I remember correctly, the manga for the second season caught up to the manga for volume 9 or 10. I legitimately can't remember right off the top of my head. And there's only 13 volumes. So the fact that they got so much out of it is kind of amazing in itself. If anyone like is interested, like just watching them someday, again, I might just like find out if I can have some like if I ever get subscribers, that might be just what I do. Let's watch some really fucked up anime. Higurashi and fucking Maiden Abyss. um, I since I'm on the subject of things that people shouldn't watch with a bad mindset. If I remember correctly, so there is a series, and I love it. If you are in America, it's 7 volumes. I can't remember how many it is in Japanese, but it's a manga series, and it's pretty much guaranteed that it's not going to get an anime adaptation. It does make me sad, but I do fully understand it. And that is Good Night Pun Pun. There it is again. There's that weird frog sound thing. I don't know what you are, but I hear you. Anyway, so, I don't think that's where I need to go. Where do I need to go? Yeah, I do need to go this way. We're going to the mine. About that, yeah. There were like 3 for the movie, I think. I don't remember for sure. Anyway, Goodnight Poon Poon is a coming of age story. Um, but sorry, I hit my mic again. I'm a bad streamer. Um, how to word this with words. I need to word this with words. Goodnight Poon Poon is like legitimately a mindfuck story. Everything's easier said than done, except for talking. That's about the same. And anyone that has read it, which I'm fucking insane, I know that. I've read it twice, and I'm probably gonna read it again for a 3rd time soon. The art in Goodnight Poon Poon alone is worth people reading it. Like, my mod has seen some of the images from it, and he told the artist to stop going so hard. The art is absolutely breathtaking in it, to me. For those that don't know what the artist does, he takes photos and he uses those photos to help make his backgrounds, so they're based on real places, mostly. It's a very weird thing, and it's something he has specifically done for a while, from my understanding. His art is absolutely amazing, though, because of it, and I adore his work in general, not just Goodnight Poon Poon, but that's really all I can say about Goodnight Poon Poon anyway. I can't suggest it to everybody, and I wish I could. But if you feel like you can handle that, like, go read it. You'll probably only ever read it once, and I fully support that decision. Hey, I had to kill the Slim. But it's worth reading that once. And then never touching it again. So the reason I bring it up, though, is there is a series that not a series, there is a single book that he made that is very divisive in his community, because it has sex in it. It is high school students. I will go ahead and put that up there, that it is high school students. Which, again, is a very different thing in Japan than it is here. But it's a girl by the shore, and it's a coming-of-age story, too. It is about a guy and a girl. The guy basically feels like he has no hope of ever getting a girlfriend, and the girl was used by a guy she thought she was dating, but he was just using her to get sexual favors. Yeah, I have new inventory. So they decide to basically be friends with benefits. I see I am losing viewers from this. No! I see how it is. So, they agree to basically be... yeah, pretty much. But, they agree to be friends with benefits, and, like, it's about that, and about them growing up and figuring out what they want to do with life, more or less. I can't say that it has a great ending, like a happy ending, but I don't believe all good stories have to have happy endings. So, yeah. It was suggested some things on my Twitter, but I'd actually have. I'm forever gonna call it Twitter to talk about. Let's see, anime that I don't like and other people think is the best thing ever. We can discuss some of those. Uh, um, I think you already know what one I'm gonna talk about first. I need to I need to fucking go back and just watch SAO. Like it's a dumpster fire, but it's a dumpster fire I'm willing to put up with. I I started Attack on Titan. I got to the part where it goes into Levi's backstory, and I still can't say that I am the biggest fan of Attack on Titan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know a whole bunch of people that hate me for that take, but it is so not my thing. Um, we're just saying something because I tend to give just about anything a chance, at least once. Um, but I was not a fan of the art style for one. I feel like a lot of things that were like I feel like if I read the manga, I probably would have preferred it. Like, but I feel like the anime was dragged out a little bit. Like the mangaka had an idea for how long they wanted the series to go, so they specifically did the story for how long they wanted. But I didn't read it at the time, and honestly, if I'm going to spend my money on manga, I'd rather buy Berserk. Um, but yeah, like so that's probably my biggest hot take. If you want to call it a hot take, like I just, uh, I don't know. If I start talking anime with people, like y'all actually want to see me discuss some of this in detail, I might try and watch it again. Because I'd like to actually be able to give my full thoughts on how I feel like it ended or whatever. I want to be able to talk about it with other people. Um, and stuff like that. But like as it stands, I don't really have an investment in it. Is the best way I can word it. There's other anime coming out. There's other shows and movies coming out. I'm so excited for the Demon Slayer movies because I've already read the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it for people, but I'm so hyped. So hyped to see my boy uh not be the worst thing in the show for once. That's kind of all I'm gonna say on that. Um, and again, like it's not because it's a long series. I have watched, like, I'm not caught up on it, but I have watched over 1,000 episodes of One Piece. The the length is not the problem. It's just my lack of motivation. Um, let's see. What else is there that I can talk about that y'all probably don't know about? Um, there's so many isekai. Like, I know I've been told to watch Mushoku Tensei. I just haven't. It came out in that time frame where there were so many isekai. I'm just done with it. Like, I feel so exasperated just talking about it sometimes. Cause like, Yes, we do. We need to watch that because you've told me I need to watch that. I will give that a shot. Um, something. So I never really watched Naruto. My big three was One Piece. Still is because One Piece is still going over 25 years later. um, something that got confused. It's another series I do not suggest because the there were a lot of series that got picked up in the U.S. that people were like, "Oh, this is a shorter series. We can probably get 2 seasons out of it or whatever, and just go from there." Um, so one that got picked up was Shadow Star Narutaru, not Naruto. Um, how to explain this one? One, don't watch the anime. If you were an adult, just read the manga. You're not going to find it in any legitimate sources. I am sorry, Twitch. It's just true. Um, it does put some children in more adult compromising situations. I will fully admit to that. It is kind of horrible. The only real reason to watch it is because the mascots are cute, and it does actually have a really good story. It's been a while since I've read it, so like explaining the story is not easy. But basically, like, girl ends up finding this thing that she finds out is like a dragon, and usually the dragons can talk psychically with their companions, but for some reason her dragon can't talk to her, and she's not sure what's wrong. And you get to meet other people that have dragons, dragons of the earth, and the anime opens up 3 different plot lines, which the manga does actually go and finish. The manga doesn't finish any of them. Uh, there is a grape scene. And the anime actually does get to that scene. And then they realized, yeah, we can't sell this. uh so that's how that one worked. Oh, I don't know why I'm trying to go anywhere at 11:30 p.m. in here. Like, I'm still thinking it's daylight hours because I don't pay attention to the time in the corner. Um, but I've watched that. I've read that. Um, let's see, some other. If you want something just really bad, like really bad, and you love 90s voice acting, um, I'm going to suggest something. Don't actually watch it as a joke. Uh, is Garzy's Wing, because the voice acting in that is so bad. It's so bad. I love the voice acting in Garzy's Wing. Excuse me. Need to caffeine some more. I need to learn to edit videos so that I can make like reviews of some of these old horrible anime, or just ones that no one watches. So yeah, Garzy's Wing is just absolutely horrendous. If you want a suggestion for me for one of the anime that I personally like, it is a I don't remember what they call them now, so I'm just gonna go with the term that I grew up with. It is a reverse harem. There's a more politically correct term for that now. Don't get me wrong, I am fine for using the correct terms for things, using the correct pronouns for people. The only reason I say that is because it's something that I don't understand why it needed to be changed, and I don't know if that's because of my age or what, but I'm not trying to be rude with that. If you'd like to correct me on that, I'm more than happy to accept that. But I personally just, I don't understand it. But that's Fushigi Yugi, or the Mysterious Play. And it is an isekai as well. It is a very early isekai. Like, before it was called isekai. About a girl who, her and her friend go to, they go to the library, because her friend's the book person, and she is not. And she ends up finding this old, like, Chinese novel called, darn it. I think it's actually called The Mysterious Play. But she ends up starting to read it and gets pulled into the fantasy world. Her and her friend do, initially. Her friend can read Chinese. But then her friend gets pulled out of the world, and so she's stuck there, and she ends up becoming the priestess of Suzaku. And her friend's reading this, trying to figure out how to get her out of this book. It's very good. I personally think it's very good, especially if you want, like, it has shonen elements, but it's definitely more of a shoujo series. Miyaka is very, like, scatterbrained. Think, like, she's basically Usagi from Sailor Moon, like, from the original Sailor Moon. I'm not going to talk about Crystal because I don't care for Crystal, personally, because I don't feel like it has much character development. What is this? Is a broken seat? Okay, I can sell that. It's junk. She doesn't have much character development, and that makes me kind of sad, because the original one had some character development for Usagi, and the other Sailor Scouts had so much character development, and it made me so happy to see that, because you didn't have stuff like that, you know, in the 90s. And then Crystal is based completely on the manga, and the manga specifically, focuses on Usagi, but without the character development, it's like there's nothing really there. There's like a little character development, but not enough that I feel like it worked. I've already, okay. Like, they try, but it's not enough, and they shortened it so much that I don't feel like it can properly be conveyed. And there needs to be a lot of character development for a show like that, I feel. And you want to like the other characters, and it's like, you don't give me enough time with the other characters to give a shit about them. And then it's like, I'd like Crystal more if it was the first time we got the Sailor Star Lights, but no, because Funimation ended up redubbing the original Sailor Moon series. So we got Sailor Moon Stars already. We have the Sailor Star Lights. Like, I'm like, why did this actually need, like, I understand why it exists, because everything's gone back and, like, redone it, so it fits the manga more, and I'm just like, it doesn't have to. Like, just let it be what it is. Like, it's fine. Like, then you've got stuff though, like Soul Eater, that I prefer the original ending for the anime over the manga, because the mangaka didn't didn't want to continue the series much longer, and they're basically like, you know, you're under contract or whatever. This is what I've heard, at least. I don't. You can fact check me. But he made Soul Eater Not after that, I think. Actually, I don't know if he was even the one that made Soul Eater Not. He did go on to write Fire Force. So there's that. They got that. I like Soul Eater Not though. It's a story about it's the story. So in Soul Eater you have the Meisters and the weapons, and it's actually a little bit more about like how one would feel if they didn't realize that they were a weapon. So it's a weapon and two Meisters that want to become her Meister. It's very K-On!-esque in the art style, which I haven't watched all of K-On!, mainly because I didn't know about K-On! Until after I was with my former partner, and my former partner hated it, so you know, now I need to go and watch it. But let's see. So, like, for those that don't know, isekai was a thing before isekai. I don't know how young my audience is here, so I'm having to like go and explain some of these things. In case people did not know it. Let me think. What? Because Escaflowne was also an isekai. Around that time. A lot of our shows were just kind of edgy for the sake of edgy. Then you had stuff like Hellsing, the original Hellsing, not Hellsing. Hold on. Oop. Falling off the bed. My stuffed animals are taking my place. No. I do have all the DVDs to the original Hellsing. I know you were only 12. Oh, Cash, I was telling people about my wonderful escapades in Dungeons and Dragons earlier today. When I destroyed the whole like multiverse thing. So, that was fun, and about me going meow all the time. I suppose I can probably let y'all know I'm in talks with people, other VTubers, about maybe doing like a one shot with a few people. I know one of my players is on here. I don't know what you're talking about, Mia. Well, I mean, I was in character. You can't say I was ever out of character. I tried to stay in character too much. That was the issue, wasn't it? But yeah, I'm gonna talk with them because I also think that me and them need to discuss like if we want to stream it. I would love being able to stream with everyone. You hadn't made it to God tier yet in that game. That was the other game. Oh. But yeah, I will be DMing. The one shot will be a custom campaign most likely, because we have some beginners. And I'm gonna talk to them, see if they're okay with streaming it. We can all like stream it together. I don't know why I kept working like I had energy. Eh, must make it. Bed. This is how I feel by the time I actually go to sleep at night. That's what you go for, yes. Um, I don't know how many of my former or future players are in here. I need to explain to them that I am not afraid. If you feel the need to fuck around, you will find out. I am not scared to kill you. Even if it is 5e. I found a kitty! Look, there's a kitty! Meow! Kitty go meow! Oh, if it helps, Cash, so you don't have to worry. I am a dragon, and so dragon doesn't go nya. Dragon goes gal, and gal means I love you in dragon. So Celeste will go gal. If I ever have like little points, that'll be one of the things you can use your points on. Oh, but you get used to me. I'm trying to decide if I ever get like points what to do it down. What shall we name Kitty? I'm gonna name them Baby because you're a baby. Sweet baby. Little baby. It's a good kitty. But yeah, let's see. I watched the original Hellsing. I know not a lot of people are a fan of the ending to that one. Too many letters. I'm reading them like I read my actual mail. I don't. But yeah, like, I know I have some streaming buddies that, so I know we can get a few people together if I ever feel like just doing, like, an anime talk thing. We can all... Hellsing Abridged is based on Hellsing Ultimate, though. So, I'm introducing people to the fact that there was, in fact, a, like, 90s version to Hellsing. I have all 4 DVDs to it. It's in there with my Monty Python's Flying Circus. That's close enough to the 90s. I prefer SAO Abridged to SAO, so, you know. Watering the plants. But we had a bunch of edgy shit like that. Ergo Proxy was another one that we had. I had all the DVDs to that too, but that's a pretentious anime. I'll fully admit to that one. It insists upon itself. I won't do that. Just like I won't get rid of my .hack games. I could get a small fortune for them now because they're never going to re-release them, and I'm just like, I don't wanna though. No, I can't keep chopping things down. My energy. Need to stay caffeinated. More caffeine. More caffeine. Um, let's see. Like I never watched. Sorry, fly in my eye. I never watched the actual version, like the Japanese version of Ultimate Muscle, but I did used to watch that on 4Kids too. And Fighting Foodons. Does anyone remember Fighting Foodons? uh, I liked Fighting Foodons because it was so damn stupid. Uh, um, Foggy. But yeah, just technically wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh abridged before Dragon Ball Z abridged. Not that did it brought anything to the table. It was literally just reused memes. Freaking Little Karibo got fucking too big for his britches, if we're being honest, though. I don't feel like Team 4 Star. That's pretty much what they did. Was Dragon Ball Z abridged and then Hellsing abridged, and like they were great at it. I love it. But Little Karibo, all he does is Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, and he got a fucking big head over it, and now he doesn't do fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, so we'll never get the end. Um, I'm running into stuff because I was looking at chat instead of looking at shit that I needed to look at. But, I don't know. I just know that he fucking took the piss, Little Karibo did. And unfortunately, I feel like the same thing's happening with Something Witty Entertainment. Uh, because it, like, I understand it takes a long time to edit some videos. Like, don't get me wrong, I completely understand that. But when they started doing multiple series, it started taking longer, obviously. And honestly, My Hero Academia Abridged to me is not that good because I feel like they still have to cater to the fans. And I don't care for Macadamia. Like, I can't with Macadamia. Um, Again, you think I could, considering. Uh, Considering that I like One Piece, you'd think I'd be able to put up with this shit more. But, nope. Nope, that's not how it works for me. Ah. Um. Yeah, that's another one that I watched the original too before the new one was Fruits Basket. I like the original Fruits Basket. I understand why people don't though, and I need to finish the remake. It's so cute. I love it. I just want to hug Momiji forever. Now I want to sing the Momiji song. Can I sing the Momiji song? Chat. Oh. Chat says I can't sing the Momiji song. So I can't sing the Momiji song until we do karaoke. When we do karaoke, I can sing the Momiji song. Maybe. I know I asked for your support, Cash, but I also understand putting me on in the background and keeping the tab on mute. I'd like to do that one day though. Do a karaoke stream. I think it'd be fun. If I ever get my actual model, then we will do, or at least a LTD model. Then we'll do a karaoke stream. Evil Sama did her karaoke stream today, and it was fantastic. Everyone go support Evil Sama. Support our Lord, Lady Evil. I appreciate it. Please keep me unmuted for the stream, and you can mute tab. Mute tab. I want the rare seed, but I do not have the munts. No, they want to mute me. They're probably tired of me at this point. I do not blame. Do not blame. La 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 la. I'm not singing it, I'm humming it. I'm lying it. I can lie. I can lie if I wanna. My phone just told me that I had memories of my bunnies, and it makes me sad because last year, a bit over a year ago, my bun died. My baby. He was a good boy. He was a good one. I left him with my previous partner. This is what happens with Chrome. They ruin everything. AKA, please support me, Opera. I would like your support going forward. I will. Yes. Baby! Yay! Meow! Chrome is stupid. Opera GX, please sponsor me. Or Monster, that's where I'm getting my energy from. Monster Rehab, please sponsor me. I don't have chickens, why are you chickening? I want chickens. Not to eat today. I had chickens yesterday to eat. They were yummy. Good chickens. Chick yums. Happy chickens. See, it's easier. Why is Chrome so complicated? No, he's empty. I'd like to eventually. I know that we're in the last little bit because I'm trying to go for the full 3 hours, and we kind of got off topic because I started talking to Cash. But if everyone wants, I think I might start streaming like a 4th day every like other week, and do like anime stuff, and like on Twitter, and or you can message me on Discord for animes that you'd suggest for me to watch. If it's short, then I will watch it. If it is longer, I will start watching it, and once I finish it, I'll fully talk about it. I'll talk about my feelings during watching it as well. I already watered it. You gotta go there now. I'm pretty much willing to try any anime at least once. If I don't like it, I will tell you though. Like, there's stuff that I'm just like, no. But usually I can put up with about anything. The fact that I've watched some of the stuff that I have and ended up enjoying it is proof of that, probably. But, like, not everything's for everyone. I'm not going to say shit about people that like series that I don't. Like, to each their own. And I'm fine with that. I don't believe in being like... Yeah, pretty much. I don't believe in gatekeeping for something like this. I think it's a stupid concept to begin with anyway. Like, I believe that, you know, if we don't invite people into the fandom, then, like, going forward, there's not going to be a new generation to share it with, and I want to be able to share that with people. I want to be able to be like, I remember when One Piece first came out, before the remake that everyone's waiting for, so they don't have to sit through 100,000 episodes. That's an exaggeration. I already know that, but it's probably gonna be close to 2,000 at this point. From the looks of it, if it keeps going at the rate it is. So, you know, I'm gonna keep watching it, but I also understand people that are waiting for the remake from Wit Studios. Wit Studios did Spy Fam, and they're gonna be doing the One Piece remake from Netflix. We do not have a release date for that yet, so I don't know if it's like they're in the process of working on it, or if what Netflix is trying to wait, because they also have the live action One Piece going right now. So I don't know if it's like they want to get that caught up and then do that, which would make some sense, so they don't have 2 series like in the same place at the same time. I've heard good things about the live action. I just haven't actually watched it. Oda apparently oversaw. Oda kind of oversees everything with One Piece, which is part of the reason it doesn't do, like, as bad as some of the others, for being honest about it. Oda's kind of... It's still gonna be stupidly long. You do know that, right? If they actually make it, it'll still have to be... Yes, Oda has to approve everything. Even the filler episodes have to be approved by Oda. I need to go pet baby. Let me go pet baby. Let me go meow. Yeah. Me pet baby. Oh, do we water the baby? Oh, we go over here water the baby? I've never actually played this correctly. Oh, I did a baby. Dim need water. Dim need the good water, be good baby. This is actually how I talk to my animals. And my stuffed animals. I think that there was an anime I watched where it was like the stuffed animals came to life. I don't remember what it was. I know Little Snow Fairy Sugar is similar. I love Snow Fairy Sugar. It's adorable. That's another kid-friendly one. If the kid is old enough to read subtitles, I suggest Onegai My Melody. That one's also super adorable. It just never came out. For those that don't know, Onegai My Melody is actually where Kuromi's from. That Kuromi is literally Melody's arch nemesis, or tries to be, and she always fails, and it's so adorable. I love it. Melody's a little autistic too, and she's so cute. She's a little slow catching on sometimes. I love Melody. Melody is my favorite Sanrio character. That reminds me, another good one for kids and adults, obviously, is Show by Rock. It is made by Sanrio, but they are actually kind of humanoid characters, kind of. It's adorable. There's an alien sheep girl, and she's adorable. And there's a little cat girl. There's a dog girl. She's the tsundere. For the more adult-oriented, we obviously have Agretzko, which was also made by Sanrio. Agretzko is the Sanrio character model design. Like the animals, in the cutesy animals. But they work adult jobs, and they have to deal with adult problems, and it's super cute. I love it. I resonate with Agretzko on a personal level. I also love the person that does her metal voice. It's fantastic. um, and it has like one of the cutest ships. I don't always ship, but I did ship one of them from like the start, and I'm happy for it. That's because she's relatable. Let me think. Uh, so like I said, for harem, what I would suggest, I definitely suggest Tenchi Universe if you like harem. Tenchi Muyo and Tenchi Universe have two separate endings, basically. Tenchi Muyo is more of Aeka-centric, and Universe is more Ryoko-centric, and Ryoko is Bae. I will not hear anything else. I will hear it, but I'm not gonna agree with it. That's my honest take on it. Um, so, um, I really like that one. I don't like a whole bunch of harem though, um, because I feel like they don't get enough screen time. No, not every Tenchi is made equal. Tenchi GPX I do not care for whatsoever. But that also isn't Tenchi, it's his cousin. It's really weird. It's still called Tenchi though. Which is very confusing. I do not understand it. Um, and I didn't care for Ryo-Oki, but part of that is that Ryo-Oki takes place with the understanding that you already know the characters at the beginning, and then shoves a new character in. And I didn't like that. So many parsnips. All the parsnips are going to be mine. We got some parsnips. Thank you for listening to my horrible song. I'll see myself out. Baby! Come here! Baby! Let's see. My controller decided it wanted to just keep going again. We're probably gonna start wrapping it up after this day, because I'm gonna go see if I can buy more parsnips and plant them and stuff. I can, because I see how much money I have. It's fine. But I'm gonna start looking into some more anime to watch so I can talk a little more about stuff, or we can go through like the season, if y'all want to do that, and then chat can decide what I watch as far as like this season. I can do like 3 shows probably, besides the ones that I was already planning to do. Why am I down here? Because I'm being a silly butt. But I just want to say to everyone, since we are going to wrap up soon-ish, and I'm gonna stop, or I'm going to wrap up the game at least, so I can start like saying all my things. We'll finish this though, but also if there's a genre you want to specifically hear about, I'll look into it. I don't care that you're short-staffed. Why are you in my way? Everywhere's short-staffed. Working in this economy? Whee! Stonks. But yeah, so y'all can always find me on Twitter, Celeste_Dragon85. Or you can find me on Discord, it's Celeste Dragon. And you can also message me on YouTube, or you can whisper me here if it comes down to that too. Is this ready yet? Oh, yay! It was ready! So let's water all of these. And I know I'm gonna end up calling it a day kind of early for this. I can probably go and like farm just a bit more. If we're a little over 3 hours, that's fine too. Oh no, the time police are gonna come get me. Except time baby no longer exists. Ha ha ha. Oh, that was. Who all watches Gravity Falls? Gravity Falls is wonderful. Go watch Gravity Falls if you haven't. It has plenty of love, but it still deserves more love. Cucumber, cucumber. Cucumbers. Cucumbers. Whenever we get there, am I gonna have eggplants in chat? It did, but I still think it had a fine ending for what it was. I will say that considering the way Star ended, I think it could have gotten another season. We're gonna chop down some trees. And anyone that wants to like collab with anime stuff, if you stream, too, I'm more than happy to do that too. I know I don't have many viewers right now. I don't really have many followers either, but I'm working on that. This is exactly, this will be my 2-week stream because my next one will be the first of my 3rd week. The start of my 3rd week. So I appreciate everyone for that. I couldn't have gotten here without everyone's help. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't want anyone to think that. So let's this, and then we can end game. Yeah, but that's apparently how she wanted to end it, which is really weird. I need to get the book for Gravity Falls that Bill Cipher wrote. Still need to get that. You want to read Bill Cipher's like thing on stream? Yep. Yep. Whee! And we're gonna go to the other screen. Alex Hirsch basically said that he wouldn't have minded doing another season, but he was told he could only have the 2. So, that's why that. But the creator of Star said that she specifically wanted it to end that way. So, I want to thank everyone that showed up today. I probably didn't do as well as I could have, but y'all stayed with my silly butt, my silly dragon tail the whole time. And I appreciate that. And that's why I love all my little azure beans. Oh, you know what we need to do? If I ever get the chance, I want to commission a toggle for every time we get a new follower, we put a new azure bean in the jar. And so yeah, I like to do that. We'll see how this stream went, and depending on how this stream went, I might have some exciting news. But we'll have to see. So I gotta be all sushi. So thank you all so much. It looks like I'm actually gonna end it a little bit early. My Elden Ring playthroughs make up for all the lost time any other day. Because I always go past. Saturday will be more Elden Ring. I did find it's called the Dark Moon mod, I believe. It is a complete overhaul of Elden Ring. It is made by a creator that we actually watch. Me and my partner. And if it's not obvious, my partner is also my mod, but they have to be put up with. They have to put up with my stupids all the time. But we'll do more Elden Ring that day. Saturday, I still, if my energy is high enough, I want to try and continue my Dark Souls 1 mage run. So if anyone wants to join me for those, I'd appreciate it. If not, I do totally understand. I will scream a lot at Elden Ring and laugh and curse a lot. Anyone that's seen my clip knows that I will curse a lot. at those stupid Radon motherfuckers. Killing me with stupid ass bow. Don't even drop the goddamn bow. Hell, they don't even drop the fucking arrows. Bitches. Um, but yeah, that's just an average Elden Ring run. And then Dark Souls. If not, then we might do more Amnesia so I can get stuck and throw things at windows. Um, or we might do some more Survivor likes. I haven't decided fully. But thank you again, everyone that showed up. You mean so much to me. And I will see all you adorable little Azure Beans next time. Have a good night, good morning, or good afternoon, everyone.